Welcome to our tutorial. This video will demonstrate how to use outages to define time window operations in SaVoir. In a previous video on outages, we saw that unavailability periods could be defined for satellites, areas of interest, or antennas, in order to not schedule operations in those periods. Today, we will use outages differently, so that a given resource, for example a satellite sensing capability, is distributed in time. Imagine that you would like for some areas of interest to be covered with a certain frequency, once per month, once per week, or once per cycle, but staggered in time. Let's begin by going to the Areas pane here and selecting to work with the countries submenu. I'm then going to open up Africa, and I'm going to select a few countries from the north of Africa. Let's say Algeria, and then Libya, and Morocco. And as you can see, here they are visible on our map of the world. Now I'm going to move to the Satellites pane here, and I'm going to switch from the default scenario to that of the Sentinel satellites. I am then going to choose Sentinel-1A, expanding the sensors, and I'm going to select the XAR IWS sensor. I had preset a 2-month time window going from the 1st of May to the 30th of June, so as to obtain a lot of acquisitions, as you can see here. If I now move to the Gantt display and click Fit With, I see all of the acquisitions shown. And if I decide to zoom in a little bit, we are able to see Sentinel-1A acquiring from one area of interest to the other and getting as much data as possible from all of these. But let's say that we have a requirement that we cover Algeria on the first day of a cycle, Libya on the second, and Morocco on the third day of a cycle. Note that a cycle in the case of the Sentinel-1A satellite is 12 days. To do this, I go back to the Areas of Interest pane here, and I place my cursor over Africa, and then I right-click. Now I select Outages. A new view is open showing the outages for the Areas of Interest and the Africa countries. When I expand the node, here they are visible. I can now zoom in near the beginning of the time window to see the day boundaries. So zoom in a little bit, and I'm able to see my calendar here precisely. Now, let's use the new outage button here to create an outage for Algeria. So I'm going to place my cursor on the line of Algeria here, and I'm going to drag across to create my outage. To ensure that this is indeed a 1-day time period, I'm going to use the snap function here. And I'm going to simply drag across to make sure that it is indeed a period of 1 day. And as you see under duration, that is correct. Now we are going to make this periodical by right-clicking when positioned over the outage and selecting the Edit option. And a dialog window opens up for editing outages. As you can see, we're dealing with Algeria. The satellite is Sentinel-1A. I'm now going to select the periodic by clicking on it, and I am going to ensure that this is indeed on cycles, which is what interests me, as we have a lot of different units available. And now I'm going to put in the value of 1 and hit the OK. And when I give it the fit with, I can see that my outage has been periodically created. But what I'm interested in is to see that the satellite is planned inside of this period and not outside of it. And to obtain this, I will then right-click on the outage once again, and I'm going to give it this time the complement feature. So now I get the exact opposite of before, so that I have 1-day gaps where the planning for Algeria can take place every 12 days. And if we zoom in, this becomes clearer. This is indeed a period of 1 day. And these are 12-day time slots. Note that this outage has a lighter color than the others. This indicates that the modifications have not been saved. Hence, I have to press the Commit button here to save the changes. And now the new outage data has been saved when I give it the OK. Now let's do the same with Libya, but for the following day. So again, first I'm going to expand my calendar a little bit. I am then going to click on the new outage button once again. I'm going to go to the line of Libya, and I'm going to place my outage on the following day, which is that of May 7th. Once more, I'm going to use the snap function, which is already highlighted, and I'm going to make sure that it is snapped to a period of exactly 1 day. I'm then going to right-click, give it the Edit option. We are dealing with Libya now. Periodic, on cycles, the 1 value, and hit the OK. Again, right-click, complement, and now commit. And once again, the OK. Now I will repeat the same actions for the Morocco area, and once more for the subsequent day. So once again, let's zoom in to our calendar. New outage, go on the line of Morocco, and this time I'm going to create it on the following day once again. Using the snap function to ensure that the duration is of precisely 24 hours. Right-click once more, and this time select the Edit, Periodic, Cycles is on, give it the 1 value, and hit the OK. Right-click once again, complement, and now commit. So now I have my 3 areas of interest constrained to be planned on 3 consecutive days every 1 cycle. So if I go back to the map view and hit the refresh, I will get a new plan. And here we are. Now if I go back to the Gantt view again and I zoom in, I can see clearly that I have my 1 acquisition on Algeria, 1 for Libya, and 1 for Morocco, and this is repeated in time for each of the cycles. The red backgrounds that we see here indicate the times during which the planning has been disabled because of the outages that we had defined previously in the outages view. So that is how you can use the outages editor to create planning time slots for areas of interest in SaVoir, which can also be applied for satellites and sensors. Thank you for your attention.